Hi everyone, welcome to Code Kamkaji. I hope everybody are doing good. In this video, we will be discussing about another concept from Snyk called as a security of software composition analysis. So stay tuned till this video, and if you haven't liked, share, subscribe to Code Kamkaji, I request you to go and do it right away. That so you won't miss further videos. Now let's jump into the concept called as a security composition analysis. So, security composition analysis is a process that identifies and evaluates open source and third party components in software to detect the security vulnerabilities. In understanding definition, I can elaborate this. Like, imagine like you have been working in a project, so you import or you use open source third party libraries modules in your source code. So it's your responsibility to scan those libraries and modules or frameworks to find any vulnerabilities are they present in the respective versions of your modules and libraries. So to find the such a vulnerability, so we have a certain standards to scan it. So that's we call it as a security composition analysis. So with the help of this analysis, you are going to find the open source vulnerabilities that you have imported into your source code. So I hope it is make clear for you to understand what is a security composition analysis and what is how it is typical and how it is important for your your day-to-day activities. Because being a developer, being a DevOps engineer, being a AI and whatever like a developer, you mostly handle with open source imports. It can be module, it can be library, it can be any other dependencies. So what is happening day to day rises those dependencies can have vulnerabilities. So if you keep those vulnerabilities ideal for you in your source code, so attacker may take a chances to attack your entire source code and take the entire commanding on your applications. So he can do whatever he wants once again the access. So third, to prevent such a situation, so we our requirement, our necessary and our aim to scan our source code and is there any vulnerabilities are present. So and we need to scan it and we need to find it and we need to fix it. So that's our responsibility being a DevSecOps engineer or any security engineer. So here I brought simple project which I have written in Flask and Python. So app.py is the application which has some Python code, and this has written in a Flask framework. And the security composition analysis can be applied on any other stack. It can be Java, it can be .NET, it can be like in a C sharp, it can be any language. You can use the same principle. So to scan your source code with the SCA, so you need to initialize all your dependencies to be running in your machine. So for that, first I'm going to show you what all requirements I have, what all dependencies I have taken. So this is a framework dependency, which is a version of 1.0.2 and work doing and Ginger format, SQL Alchemy, Flask login, Flask mail, security request, and PyYAML. So these all open source dependencies I have mentioned in my requirement.txt. So with a single command, I'm going to install all those open source on my machine. So once I install it, I will run security composition analysis towards these dependencies of open source, and I will find is there any issues are in my dependencies? Is there any versions got affected? So for that, I'm heading to my documentation. So this is the command which is the pip, which is the package manager for Python. So I'm going to install all my dependencies which are resides in my requirement.txt. So if I press enter, all the dependencies will be installed and on my machine. So here it has successfully installed. Seeing the successfully install all these versions. Fine. So we have successfully installed all the dependencies. Now it's time to check: are the dependencies are authentic? Are the dependencies are away from vulnerabilities? So and are the dependencies versions are away from vulnerabilities? So for that, I have already set up the Snyk as a security scanner tool for this video, and even I have authenticated a Snyk login with a Snyk auth with that with the key that we can see over here. And if you haven't seen how to enable this, so I request you to go and watch the last video. So there we have a detail explain how we can authenticate into a CLI via Snyk UI via token. Fine. So let's heading to the documentation. So we have the command called as a Snyk test. So what exactly this command do? So this command will go and scan your entire source code with the dependencies that are installed in your machine. and it will find any vulnerabilities are there in respective version, and it will give the fixed versions for the respected dependencies in your project. So I'm going to run this command sneak test. So once I start running, it will go and scan my entire source code of my dependencies, and it will give a certain report saying that, like, tested 24 dependencies and known issues are 35 issues and 175 vulnerabilities in the path. So if I go line by line, dependencies level, saying that, upgrade 1.0.2. So currently this is the version got installed on my machine, and it's saying that, hey, if you would like to stay away from this vulnerability, you should have to upgrade your Flask version from 1.0.2 to, you should have to go with 2.2.5. And to know more about this vulnerability, I have to head to this URL, and I'm going to copy this URL. My bad. So I'm going heading to this URL, and it will give the detailed information of this vulnerability. Oh, what went? I think I haven't add 9 at the end of the URL. Yeah. Saying that upgrade Flask version to 2.2.5 or 2.3.2 or higher. So this is the detailed information of it, and what is the severity and is it the high recommended, and basic threats, intelligence or report, and from where it is got, and all the information it is present in this, URL. And you have the GitHub references also on the PRs and all. And the second one, we have installed a Flash security, which is the 3.0.0, and it is saying that there is a medium severity vulnerabilities are present in this dependency. So if you'd like to or if you'd like to stay away from the vulnerabilities, you should have to upgrade to Flash security 5.5.1. Similarly Ginger, and similarly for Paya YAML and request and work zone. So if you see this one, work zone, here we have the affected version is a 0.14.1, and saying that we are, you can upgrade to 3.0.6. And if you'd like to see the high severity vulnerability of this particular dependency, you can head to this URL, and you can see what exactly it is saying, how to fix it overview. And this is a packages of vulnerable of denial of service, which is DOS, which is a like an critical vulnerability. So you should have to fix it, otherwise if any attacker try to attack your website or whatever API you are using, so you can easily gain the access of your website. So this is how, you can go to each one by one dependency, you can see the what version it got fixed. And the basic details under here: organization, which is a Sheikh Muhammad Go 35, and package is a pip package manager, target file is requirement.txt, and project name is Ubuntu, and open source no, because we haven't kept our source code as open source since it is a private, and now this is how it's showing as a no. And project path is a home Ubuntu, and this is the project path, and licenses got enabled. So this is the basic information. And if you'd like to fix all these vulnerabilities, so you can run Snyk fix is the command, so it will automatically go and fix all the vulnerability. So this is how you can get to know what all dependent versions of vulnerabilities are present in your source code by using a Snyk security composition analysis. I hope you got an understand of this concept, and still if you have any doubts, I request you to drop your comments in the comment section. And if you like my explanation, I request you to like, share, subscribe to Code Kamikaze, and stay tuned for next video. Until then, bye bye.